At the planet's northern pole, the ocean freezes into a temporary continent. In this world, every creature lives on a razor's edge of energy. Every step is a cost, every meal an investment in tomorrow. Welcome to the Arctic, where ice dictates the terms of life. Beneath the thick ice, the seal moves through the deep, blue dark. They give birth in small snow dens. They nourish their young with fat reserves from the last hunting season. But even underwater, they must surface for air. And every breathing hole is a vulnerability. The polar bear understands this. Unlike other predators, it does not rely on long-distance pursuit. Its massive body wasn't built to outswim a seal. Instead, it evolved for patience. It can wait for hours near the breathing holes. An acute sense of smell allows it to detect the seal's scent through thick ice and snow. In the crushing cold, the bear waits. For the seal, the danger isn't the sound, it's the silence that lasts too long. The strike is over in an instant. It's not always successful. In fact, most attempts end in failure. But a single success, and the seal's rich blubber provides enough energy for days. In the Arctic, energy is survival. And for the seal, fear isn't an emotion. It's a vigilant instinct, sharpened over thousands of years of evolution. The more cautious individuals survive. The careless ones vanish from the population. Across the thick snow, a smaller shape follows a giant's trail. The Arctic fox. It does not challenge the bear. It reads it. A successful bear may not consume its entire prize. In the freezing conditions, food is naturally preserved. The fox understands that a safe distance is everything. Too close, and it could be driven off, or worse. Too far, and the opportunity vanishes. To the fox, the bear is both a great peril and a chance at survival. This is an indirect but critical relationship. The bear's presence creates a secondary food source for many scavengers. If the bear were to disappear, the very distribution of energy in the ecosystem would shift. And so, the fox's fear is not simply its own. It is the recognition of its place in the ecological order. A single misstep can cost it everything. But a timely move can sustain it through winter for weeks to come. Along the edge of the sea ice, walrus herds gather in a colossal mass. Massive bodies, thick hides, tusks like ancient weapons. A healthy adult is no easy target, but in the wild, perfection is a rarity. The young can be separated. The old may fall behind. A bear might seize the opportunity. Not every approach leads to an attack. Not every attack succeeds. Walruses defend as one. They mass together, a natural fortress. However, as the sea ice shrinks and resting space vanishes, the colonies grow denser. Pressure mounts. Conflict becomes more frequent, not because the nature of the species has changed, but because their world has. The herd's fear translates into collective vigilance, a warning call, a simultaneous shift. Here, survival is not won by individual might, but by the cohesion of the group. Beneath the thick ice of the Arctic Ocean, narwhals move through narrow, freezing corridors of water. They live in a world of sound. Visibility is limited, so echo becomes their map for survival. Each click is a scan of the dark space beneath the ice, but even though they master the deep ocean, they still have to come up to breathe. And the ice surface, where breathing holes open, is also where danger gathers. Polar bears rarely chase in open water. In deep water, narwhals are faster and more agile. Instead, the bear waits, patiently, for the right moment. At natural cracks or breathing holes, an ambush can happen the instant a narwhal rises for air. It does not succeed every time. And when it fails, the bear keeps searching. A narwhal carcass drifting nearby or trapped in the ice is also extremely valuable. Its thick layer of blubber holds an enormous store of energy. Enough to feed a polar bear for many days in an environment where heat is constantly being drained away. When the ice is thick and breathing holes are scarce, crowding increases. And when breathing space is limited, choices become limited too. For the narwhal, the real fear is not the hundreds of meters of dark water below. It is the moment of transition between water and air. A single breath, a brief silence. And the white shadow waiting on the ice. Further out, towards the estuary and coastal waters, beluga whales move in pods. They are agile, capable of navigating through dense ice flows. A thick layer of blubber provides insulation in the near-freezing environment. An adult beluga is rarely a consistent target for a bear. Their size and group coordination make them a formidable challenge. But the young? Tell a different story. In enclosed ice fields, when the escape to the open sea is cut off, a pod can become trapped in narrow breathing holes. And there, the dynamic shifts. Polar bears have been observed exploiting such situations, approaching from the ice sheet, aiming for a weaker or younger individual. It's not a common strategy. But in this unforgiving environment, any opportunity for energy is valuable. The presence of a bear can make the pod more vigilant as they surface for air. Time near the breathing hole is cut short. The distance between individuals shrinks. But fear is not reserved for the prey. The polar bear also lives under relentless pressure. Its body is a masterpiece engineered for the cold, a thick layer of blubber, heat-trapping hollow fur, and black skin to absorb the sun. But every adaptation comes at a cost. A massive body demands a colossal amount of energy. An adult bear needs kilograms of fat each day just to maintain its form. The hunt is tied to the sea ice cycle. When the ice forms later and melts sooner, the window to reach the seals shrinks. Every day on land is a day of dwindling reserves. A bear can swim for dozens of kilometers between ice flows, but swimming consumes critical energy. So, while many species fear the bear's arrival, the bear fears the ice's departure. Not an emotional fear, a physiological one, a loss of body mass, a drop in birth rates, a decline in the survival of its young. At the top of the food chain, they mirror the state of the entire system below. Summer arrives. The sea ice recedes. The hunting grounds shrink, shattering into isolated flows. The bears must push further out or retreat to the shore. Here, options are scarce. A beached whale, the eggs of seabirds sometimes, even plants. But it is not enough to replace the energy-rich fat of the seal. The bear's body begins to consume its reserves. For a pregnant female, the stakes are even higher. She must store enough energy to sustain her cubs through the long winter in a den of snow. If the hunting season shortens, the chance for a successful birth diminishes. And as the bear population shifts, the entire landscape of fear transforms with it. Fewer bears might mean less pressure on the seals, but it also means a change in the food supply for scavengers. In the far north, everything is connected. The polar bear is the apex predator, a critical force that regulates seal populations and maintains the balance of the Arctic food chain. Its very presence creates immense ecological pressure, forcing other species to adapt their behavior simply to survive. The remnants of each hunt distribute vital energy to countless scavengers in a landscape where resources are scarce. As it is completely dependent on sea ice, the bear's condition is a direct reflection of the entire marine ice ecosystem's health. Thank you for joining this journey into the wild. If you are captivated by these tales of nature and harsh survival, be sure to like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss what's next.